Fentanyl, an invisible killer, a drug so potent it's been labeled the zombie maker. But what exactly is fentanyl? Where does it come from? How does it devastate the body, turning people into shells of their former selves? And why has it become one of the most dangerous substances of the 21st century? Welcome to AwakeDocumentary, your source for uncovering the hidden truths that shape our world. In today's deep dive, we'll explore the origins of fentanyl, the destruction it causes, and the dark economy profiting from pain and despair. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to AwakeDocumentary for more thought-provoking stories like this one. Let's unravel the painful truth about fentanyl. Fentanyl was first synthesized in 1959 by Dr. Paul Janssen, a Belgian chemist who intended it to be a breakthrough pain reliever for surgical procedures and cancer patients. It's up to 100 times more potent than morphine, making it an invaluable tool for medicine. But like many scientific advancements, its benefits came with unforeseen consequences. By the 1990s, as the opioid crisis gained momentum, fentanyl became a tool for illegal drug manufacturers who saw its potency as a way to increase profits. Cheap to produce and easy to transport, fentanyl quickly infiltrated the streets of the United States and beyond. It became a silent epidemic, devastating families and communities at an unimaginable scale. What makes fentanyl so addictive? This synthetic opioid binds to the brain's opioid receptors, flooding the body with dopamine, the chemical that makes us feel pleasure and reward. But this euphoria comes at a steep cost. Over time, fentanyl rewires the brain, suppressing its natural ability to produce dopamine. Users become trapped in a relentless cycle, chasing a high that becomes harder and harder to achieve. This dependency turns into a prison, leaving individuals desperate for their next fix. Yet fentanyl is not just another addictive drug. It's a substance so lethal that a dose as small as 2 milligrams, the size of a few grains of salt, can be fatal. Unlike heroin or other opioids, the margin for error is almost non-existent. A single mistake, an accidental overdose, can stop a person's breathing in seconds. The drug doesn't just claim lives, it erases them in an instant, leaving behind shattered families and communities struggling to pick up the pieces. But fentanyl doesn't only kill, it transforms. Users often report feeling disconnected from reality, unable to think clearly or function in daily life. They become lethargic, their movements slow and uncoordinated, their speech slurred. This zombie-like state is why fentanyl has earned its terrifying nickname, the zombie drug. It doesn't just destroy bodies, it devours souls, leaving behind a shadow of the person who once existed. And yet, despite its devastating effects, fentanyl is shockingly cheap to produce. A kilogram, which costs just a few $1,000s to manufacture in clandestine labs, primarily in China and Mexico, can generate millions of dollars when distributed on the streets. For drug cartels, it's the perfect product, low cost, high reward, and devastatingly effective at hooking users. The economic reality of fentanyl is grim. It's a billion-dollar industry built on the backs of the most vulnerable. In 2022 alone, fentanyl was responsible for nearly 70,000 overdose deaths in the United States. To put that into perspective, fentanyl is now the leading cause of death for Americans aged 18 to 45, surpassing car accidents, gun violence, and even cancer. This epidemic doesn't discriminate. It affects the wealthy and the poor, the urban and the rural, the young and the old. No community is immune. But where does it come from? Much of the illicit fentanyl flooding American streets originates in Chinese chemical labs, where it's produced in bulk and then smuggled into Mexico. From there, drug cartels refine and distribute it across the United States. The supply chain is vast and intricate, involving countless players profiting from the suffering of millions. And while governments have tried to crack down on the trafficking of fentanyl, the sheer scale of the operation makes it a nearly impossible task. The impact of fentanyl extends far beyond the individual users. It tears apart families, devastates communities, and places an enormous burden on healthcare systems. Parents are burying their children. First responders are overwhelmed with overdose calls. Hospitals are stretched thin, trying to save lives. The ripple effects of this epidemic are immeasurable, touching everyone, whether directly or indirectly. But amidst the darkness, there is hope. Across the globe, organizations and individuals are fighting back. Recovery is possible, and countless people have managed to escape the clutches of fentanyl addiction. Through education, treatment, and awareness, we can begin to turn the tide. But it's a race against time, and awareness is our greatest weapon. The more we understand about this epidemic, the better equipped we are to combat it. At AwakeDocumentary, our mission is to shine a light on the issues that matter most, and fentanyl addiction is one of the most urgent crises of our time. If you or someone you know is struggling, don't wait. Reach out for help. Share this video to spread awareness, because the fight against fentanyl is one we must all take part in. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you for watching AwakeDocumentary. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more stories that uncover the truths the world needs to hear. Together, let's stay awake to the realities that shape our world.